Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to be comparing three different types of induction kit on the Pulsar gti-r. So just before we take a look at the three filters, the reason why I'm doing this is because I love sounds with cars. I don't drive my cars very often, and when I do I want as much theatre as possible, and like the holy grail for me with turbo cars is the sort of flutter, chatter, the turbo stall sound, and the Pulsar 200SX engine, the SR20 DET, it seems to be a very common thing to do to remove the blow-off valve. So while I was swapping out all the pipework, I'll show you in a sec, recently for the intercooler and stuff, I decided to ditch the SSQV. The car already made some nice sounds because it was recirculating, but I decided to ditch the SSQV and just run without a blow-off valve because why not? And before everyone kind of gives me shit and says, oh, it's terrible for your turbo, nobody's ever really proven that it does anything overly hazardous to a turbo. If you're driving the car every day and you're driving it really hard and you've got, you know, a ceramic turbo, then yeah, possibly it's going to shorten the life of your turbo. But when you've got a steel bladed turbo like I have, and when you don't drive the car often and you don't drive the car that hard, hopefully over the life of a turbo, you know, you're talking maybe a day or two shorten by not running a blow-off valve. Do you get a performance kind of drawback? Yes, a little bit, because the turbo's got to spin the other way and spool again. So it's not great. I mean, from a performance perspective, it's not the best thing to do. I wouldn't do it on my Evo, put it that way. But the Pulsar isn't about that. The Pulsar is fun. So I decided get rid of the blow-off valve, and I decided maximum silly noises, and it makes them in spades. You'll hear it in a bit. And I thought, let's try these different filters and let's see how the three of them sound on the car. So let us have a look at the three filters first, and then we can get the K&N style one that the car came on, and we'll go out for a drive, and then we'll kind of swap over between the other two and also see what they look like in the engine bay. So these are the three filters. So we've got the original K&N style that came on the car. The reason why I'm swapping that out is because I don't like the fact that it's just generic. I want branded stuff. This is the Blitz SUS stainless steel filter that was on my Evo. And this is the AFE Pro Dry S filter that I bought to kind of go on the car ultimately. And these two are cotton gauze. This one doesn't need oiling. That's why I love AFE Pro Dry S stuff so much. This one does need oiling. And this one doesn't need oiling, of course, it's stainless steel. So not going to bother talking about filtration and power gains and things like that, although if I feel anything from my butt dyno, I'll let you know when I'm driving the car. But of course the Blitz is going to be the weakest link here in terms of filtration because it's stainless steel. The mesh isn't that fine. The Evo intake pipework, when I took it off, even with the limited mileage that I've done in Swedish climate, all dry driving, had lots of kind of dusty grime in the silicone hose, so not great. So the other two are way better for filtration, but it'd be interesting to see how they sound. I think the Blitz is going to sound the best because it's got a very unique sound being metal, but I may be surprised. So as I said, we'll get the K&N style one on first, have a little look at it, and then get some footage of that, and then we'll do the same thing with the other two filters, and then yeah, we can do a little comparison at the end and decide, after hearing them all and seeing them all, which one has the best sound. Okay, so this is the K&N style filter installed now, and the mic, if you can see it, is hidden. It's just down here. So although the video will be in car, the mic is outside of car, and I've just got the wire running up there. This also is a new pipework. I'll just show you before we kind of get cracking. New silicone hose down here and stuff, and I've remounted things. But the blow-off valve used to sit here, and it's now living up there somewhere in one of the boxes. But yeah, did sit here, now it doesn't. So interesting sounds were produced when that was removed. So let us get the car out, get it warmed up, and get a bit of footage with this one. I won't bother videoing me swapping them over. I will do that on the fly. But yeah, we'll just do some back-to-back sounds once we've had a look at the other two filters on the car. So this is the Blitz SUS, how it looks. Really unique filter. I really like the look of them. It's a shame they don't make bigger ones, but maybe the filtration would be even more terrible if they did. And these filters are great because if you want to have air coming in from the top, you can do as well, so you can mount it sort of this way if you wanted to. But that's how the Blitz looks. Got some nice cold air coming in there. Let's have a look at the AFE. And this is how the AFE Pro IS looks on the car. Looks really smart. Really like the look of it. I like the fact that it's white and it matches the little filter I've got for the catch can. And again, you can see it's got a lot of cold air there at the front. So yeah, now we've seen how they look visually. Let's get the K&N style one on the car and get some footage of that. And then, like I say, I'll swap over and get footage of the other two. And then we'll come back and decide what we think. And there we go, we are back in the garage now and the car is cooling down. Deserved that, I think, after giving it a bit of a beating up and down the little Swedish forest roads around where I live. Pretty cool actually, it's not what I expected with the filters. So the AFE filter was probably the quietest out of the three, and power wise the car felt pretty smooth, felt a little bit less free than with the K&N style. So the K&N style filter, that felt louder. Don't know what it comes across like on the footage, but it felt louder in the car than the AFE, and it felt like there was a bit more throttle response, which is a little bit strange. So I'm not quite sure why that was the feeling that I got. The Blitz, I was very surprised with the Blitz. The sound was a lot different than I thought. It wasn't as metallic as I thought it would be compared to the others. And honestly, I probably prefer the sound of the K&N style or the AFE to the Blitz. And weirdly, with the Blitz, I don't know if this came across or not in the footage, but it felt like it was overboosting, or was a bit of a boost spike going on, because when I was kind of flooring it with the throttle, it was like there was too much air coming in, which is understandable because that filter flows more but filters less. So yeah, that was it kind of felt like it had a bit of a hesitation. It was hitting like a bar of boost. So interesting, but let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you found this video a bit useful if you're thinking of different air filters for your GTI-R or your 200SX or any other car for that matter. I mean, they're not going to sound that much different, but hopefully you've enjoyed it, and on to the next video.